Hey y'all, this is Kara, and I am here to do a really special video. It was requested from my friend on Goodreads, and I always butcher her name when I try to say it because she's from Italy, I believe, but it's Elisabetta or Elisabetta or something like that, but she's really cool. You guys should go check her out. I'll link her down below. Anyway, she asked me if I could do a video telling you guys what my top favorite standalone books are and my top favorite series are of all time. And it was really hard, but I think I got a really good selection next to me, and I want to share it with you. Now, these are not the best books I've ever read, but these books hold either sentimental value or they are the best books that I feel have enjoyed. So, without any more talking, let's get started. I also have two honorable mentions that I'll talk about too. Okay, well, before I do this, I want to preface two things. The first thing is I'm not going to be mentioning Harry Potter because I don't feel like that's fair. Harry Potter is on a whole other level than any other book series in the world. So I don't think I should even mention it because it's already a given. Okay, so I'm not going to mention Harry Potter even though y'all know that Harry Potter is freaking awesome. Anyway, before I get started, I want to tell you guys what I'm reading right now because I am super digging two of the three books that I'm reading. The first one that I'm loving still is Tess of the D'Urbervilles, and I'm almost about halfway through. And this is clearly going to be one of my favorite classics I've ever read in my life. It's super, super good. The book that I'm not really enjoying is Beautiful Creatures. I'm a little bit more than halfway through. You can't really see the lighting. I am struggling reading this book, but I will finish it because that is just, I have to finish it. Alright, and then the last book that I am reading is the winner of the like I asked you guys to pick a young adult book and an adult book for me to read, and you guys did, and I counted them up. Well, when I counted them up, this one it was a tie, so I just picked for the adult book, but it is The Host. Now I think that the Night Circus is winning, so I'll read that one next. But when I checked it, The Host and the Night Circus were tied, so I picked The Host because the movie's coming out soon. The winner of the young adult choice was Scarlet by Marissa Meyer. So, yeah, I will be reading that one really soon also. Thank you guys for voting. It means a lot. Alright, it makes my life so much easier when I don't have to pick which book to read. Alright, so now that I've wasted 2.5 minutes, I'm going to go ahead and get started. Alright, so I'm going to do the series first. And the first that I'm going to talk about is my all-time favorite series. If you guys have followed me for a little bit, you'll know what it is. But it is the Fablehaven series by Brandon Mull. And you can see that my copy is super worn out. Like, the spine's all broken because I've read it so many times. Oh my god, it's so good. If you guys haven't read this, it's middle grade, but, you know, middle grade doesn't really mean anything. It's amazing. And, if you guys like adventure, this is the book for you. Alright, the next, I just grabbed whichever one was closest, but it is the City of Bones, City of Ashes, City of Glass, City of Fallen Angels, City of Lost Souls, the Mortal Instrument series. I just finished this one, which I will be talking about in my wrap-up. This book, oh my gosh, this series is so great. You guys need to check it out if you haven't read it already. Alright, so the next series is the Percy Jackson series. This is my favorite cover from that series. As you can see, my copies are all worn out. But if you guys have not read, basically, if you haven't read any of these books that I mentioned, you need to go read them because they're really good. Alright, the next, I wasn't sure if they were standalones or series, but I'm just going to group them in a series to make more room for my standalones. But it is Stephanie Perkins' books, Anna and the French Kiss and Lola the Boy Next Door. These books, especially Anna and the French Kiss, touched me when I was younger. I couldn't, oh my gosh. No words can describe how much I love her books. And then the last one is the Divergent series. I decided not to mention the Hunger Games simply because I did not like the last book at all. So I didn't feel like it was fair to kind of talk about that as a series because I didn't like the ending of the series at all. Alright, so moving on to my standalone books. Most of these are for sentimental value, like the first one, which is Water for Elephants. These are in no particular order, by the way. Water for Elephants was one of the first adult books that I read when I was getting into reading, and I fell in love with it. This is probably one of the books that helped me get into my love of reading. This is by Sarah Gruen. The next one is the same thing. This book that I'm about to show you was the book that got me into reading. A lot of you guys say that I mean, I did grow up reading, but I didn't develop my love for it until I read this one book, and it completely took off. But it is Paper Towns by John Green. Now, a lot of people don't like this book as much as his other ones, and I have to agree. The Fault in Our Stars, which is another one that I chose, um, is much better than this one, I believe. But this book was the book that got me into reading, so I had to mention it because it's awesome. Oh yeah, and The Fault in Our Stars for John Green too, which I already showed you, but that one's a given. Alright, the next one is Percy Being a Wallflower, which I'm not going to talk about much because it has become super popular and everybody pretty much knows about it in the book community. And then the last one in my top 5 standalones is Jellicoe Road by Melina Marchetta. Now, I read this one for the first time this year, I believe, and oh my gosh, this punched me in the face with emotion. It was blow me out of the water good. I can't wait to read her other books. Holy cow. Where has this book been? Also, look at how little this book is. Ha! So tiny. Okay, anyway. And then the two honorable mentions that I had to mention them, was for the series Blood Red Road by Maria Young. I loved this book so much, right up my alley. Amazing read. Can't wait to read Dustlands the sequel. And then one that I read recently that I haven't told you guys that I read, but it was phenomenal, was A Monster Calls by Patrick Ness. Now, I did read the first in the Chaos Walking trilogy, and I didn't like it at all. So I was kind of hesitant to pick this book up because I really did not like The Knife of Never Letting Go. But I really like this book, and also I recommended this book to a teacher that I know because I think this would be a great book to read for 8th graders or 9th graders, you know, like for English class, because it kind of had like a Deathly Hallows kind of feel to it. There are 3 stories and you learn from them, and it's just so touching, so good, even though it's short. Most short books that I pick up, I'm kind of wary about them because they're so short and I'm not sure how they're going to turn out. But this book did not disappoint. It was amazing. Whew. Okay, so that was basically my top 5 favorite series and my top 5 favorite standalones. As of right now, it could change in the future. So yeah, let me know if you guys have read any of these books or if you guys just want to talk to me. I've kind of been trying to get out there on the internet and talk to people. I'm not very good at talking to people on the internet. In real life, yeah, no problem. But the internet, for some reason, I'm not very good at it. So I'm trying to get out and talk to you guys more. Yeah, so I don't want to make this video too long. I will see you guys later. Bye.